What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the World According to Briggs. Are you vaccinated? Are you gonna get it? Today we're talking about a state that has the highest percentage of people that say they won't get the vaccination. That's right, today we're looking at Wyoming. After I did a few videos on Big Sky Country in the last couple weeks, I got a whole bunch of emails. Just kidding. Wyoming's nicknames are the Equality State and the Cowboy State. How many of you were typing out an angry comment? Big Sky Country is actually Montana to the north. Wyoming is a great state. The people that live there love it and it has a lot to offer, but it's never really caught on as a place to relocate to. Sure, Jackson and Jackson Hole really bring in the tourists, but not many decide to stay and call the place home, like some of the other states in the area. Those would be Colorado, Idaho, Utah, and Montana and South Dakota get a fair share too, not as many as the other three. They also share a border with Nebraska, but nobody with any sense willingly moves to the land of naps and drying paint. But Wyoming is interesting with some mind-blowing facts and history. Let's take a look. Number 10, the lowest population. Yeah, Wyoming's not crowded at all. They have a population of 577,000 residents. That's not a lot of people, especially for a state that is actually ranked 10th in size. They almost have 100,000 square miles in Wyoming. The population density is 6 people for every square mile. The only state that beats them is Alaska with only 1.3 per square mile, but Alaska's a different situation because it's just huge and nobody lives there. Give you an example of how it is compared to other places in the United States. New York City has 27,000 per square mile. That's a lot of people. That's the city. The state of California has 254 per square mile. That's the whole state of California, and keep in mind, California has a whole bunch of desert that only hermits and weirdos live in. Definitely, Wyoming's the type of place you want to call home if you want to live in peace and quiet. More than a few Hollywood heavyweights have bought homes in Wyoming, and I think the fact that they're a little light on people is why they bought those houses. Number 9, coal country. Most would think Kentucky or maybe West Virginia would be the leaders in coal. They may have been at one point, but since 1986, the Cowboy State could be called the miner state because it's been the leading coal producer in the U.S. with about 40% of our coal coming from here. In 1994, about 3 million tons of coal were extracted from mines every single week. It's tapered a little bit, but they're still producing more than all the other states. Since 1994, more than 7.8 billion tons of coal have been produced from Wyoming mines. A lot of coal. Who would have thought they would beat Kentucky and West Virginia and some of those states back there? Number 8, the first JCPenney's. JCPenney's was founded by James Cash Penney in 1902 in the city of Kimmie, Wyoming. Cash Penney sounds like a rapper's name to me. Anyway, the first and original store in Kimmie is still there. It exists. Yeah, you could go buy stuff. They even have a street there called JCPenney Drive. But on March 15th, 2020, all their stores were closed because of the pandemic and all employees were furloughed. Then on May 15th, 2020, JCPenney's filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and announced that they would be permanently closing 242 of their remaining stores, blaming the coronavirus pandemic for this action. JCPenney's became the 4th major retailer to file for bankruptcy in May of 2020. That's crazy. But yeah, I can't believe that the original store is still there. You could go in there and buy stuff. It's not like a museum. They do have one, but the store, you can actually go in there and shop. Number 7, home to the first national park. Yeah, that's right. Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming is America's first and largest national park, and in most people's opinion, the best. It's not only America's first national park, it is the first national park on the planet. A bunch of other countries have them now, but this was the absolute first one. Yellowstone was established by Ferdinand V. Hayden in 1872, and people have been going there ever since to see geysers, buffalo, and anything else they can get their eyes on. It's estimated that 2.5 million people visit every single year. Now, pandemic numbers are going to be different, but yeah, on average, about 2.5 million people visit every single year. There's this amazing video about Yellowstone called How Wolves Changed a River. You may have seen it. Chances are you did, because it's had like 42 million views. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. 42 million views. I'll leave a link for it below. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest watching it. You don't have to be an environmentalist to watch this thing. It is just an amazing video how things work. Definitely check it out. Number 6. A couple firsts for the ladies. Despite being called the Cowboy State and being sort of wilderness heavy, you might be surprised that this state had a couple firsts that if you're stereotyping a state, they might seem odd. The first one is Wyoming had the first female governor. Nellie Taylor Ross became the governor from 1925 to 1927 after the death of her husband, Governor William Bradford Ross. Yeah, so she got it by default sort of, but she was still the first in the United States female governor. She ended up finishing her husband's term. She served as the 14th governor of the state of Wyoming, and to this day has been the only female governor in the state. They also were the first ones to allow women to vote. The trailblazing decision was made in 1869. On September 6th of 1870, Louise Ann Swain of Wyoming became the first woman to cast a vote in a general election. Like I said, stereotypically, a place called the Cowboy State probably isn't going to be the first for women's rights or anything like that, but they were. A lot of people say the only reason they let the women vote was because of population issues and trying to get statehood and all this other stuff. But yeah, they let women vote first. Number 5. Home to the oldest library. This one shocked me because when this library was first opened in 1886, 3/4 of the state was reading at a second grade level, or not at all. But the residents of Wyoming loved to read, and for proof of that, I give you the Laramie County Library. It's the oldest organized library system in the U.S. The library has existed since 1886 and is still standing. You can go check out a book tomorrow. Wear a mask. Number 4. The world record for the most dancers. When I first read this, I was a little surprised and a little shocked. I thought it was a mistake. I thought for sure you'd find the most dancers in Portland or Tampa. After all, those two cities have the most strip clubs in the United States. But it was a different kind of dancing. On April 30th, 2015, the people of Wyoming decided to break a Guinness World Record by having 1,184 swing dancers on the dance floor at the same time. So basically, they had almost 1,200 swingers in the same room. The event was held at the field house at the University of Wyoming. Whoa, wait, what? They did this at a university? Man, those college kids have all the fun. Number 3, they ain't that big. There are reportedly only 2 escalators in the entire state of Wyoming, and both are located in the town of Casper. It's actually 4 if you count the up and the down side as individual escalators. Yeah, they've only got like 2, 4, whatever you want to say, in the whole state. So you know some of these people that don't travel much, they never saw them before. Can you imagine that conversation? 2 guys in their cowboy boots sitting there going, "Wyatt, look at this." And he's all, "What you got over there, Clint?" "These stairs is moving." Wyoming's tallest building is White Hall, a student dormitory at the University of Wyoming. According to the university's website, this is only a 12-story building, and it was constructed in 1967. They haven't built anything bigger than 12 stories since 1967. 54 years. Not a lot of progress is happening there. But if you meet people from Wyoming, I think they're okay with that. Number 2. Wyoming's home to the 3rd fastest land animal. That's right, the 3rd fastest land animal is the pronghorn, after the springbok gazelle and cheetah, both in Africa. But it is definitely the fastest in the Western Hemisphere. They can travel at speeds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, only for about a half a mile, but still, that's pretty freaking fast for an animal. It is native to Wyoming and can be seen migrating from the upper Green River Basin to the Grand Teton National Park. They're not terribly uncommon to see. I've seen them run before. They're fast. And before we get to number 1, there's some links below for other Wyoming videos. If you're interested in those, love for you to watch them. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, they got a problem with drunk drivers. When it comes to drunk driving, Wyoming seems to excel at it. The Cowboy State has the 2nd highest percentage of residents with DUIs on their driving record, and they're number 1 when it comes to drunks killing themselves and other people on the roads. Wyoming's percentage of drivers with DUIs is 5.16%. And when it comes to the fatalities, they have 7.60 fatalities for every 100,000 residents. That's a high number when you consider the second one is South Carolina with only 5.7 deaths per every 100,000 residents. The best state for this is Texas. They only have 0.63 for every 100,000 residents. I've talked about this one before, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. It's too bad. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.